welcome back to my channel. Today's video is one of the most requested ones I've ever had, which is just basically how to start with brush lettering. So I'm really excited. I know a lot of you are really keen to get started with modern calligraphy, so I'm really hoping that this video will help you out. So what I'm going to be going through today is first of all the supplies that you need, second is the basic strokes that you need to learn, third is how to connect your letters together, and fourth is just a couple of tips and tricks on how to get the right look for your lettering, some kind of common mistakes that I made when I was first starting. And yeah, I really hope you enjoy it and you find it useful. If you do, please obviously subscribe. If you haven't already, give this video a like and do comment if there's anything that you would like to see. Also if you found this video useful. And also of course, remember to follow me on Instagram at KateLigraphy, that's CA_IT_ligraphy, or on TikTok at KateLigraphy. Okay, thanks guys, I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so first of all, I'm just going to go over the supplies that you need to get started with brush lettering. So first of all, obviously you need a brush pen. I'm using a Tombow dual brush pen. The reason why I've chosen this is it's pretty good for beginners because it's good quality and also fairly cheap compared to some other brush pens on the market. It also has a brush tip, as you can see there, and a kind of thin tip. So yeah, it's good for kind of if you want to do modern line lettering as well. If you're not sure what brush pens to buy, I have another video which I'll link to, which I go through all my different brush pens and the pros and cons for each of them. So check that out if you haven't already, if you don't know which brush pens to get. The second thing that you need obviously is paper. Basically what you want here is something that's thicker than regular paper, I should say. This is so the ink doesn't bleed too much. You also want something smooth. The reason why you want that is because you don't want, with any paper that has ridges on it, the brush pen will, the tip will catch on the ridges and it will just make the pens fray more easily. So especially when you're starting out, you want something as smooth as possible. I'm using HP Colour Choice paper, which I think is meant originally to be printer paper, but it's just a little bit thicker, a little bit higher quality. It's really good for brush lettering practice. This is the paper that I use whenever I'm practicing, so I'd really recommend that. I'll leave a link in the description line below. Sometimes you also might want to use mixed media paper or something a little bit thicker if you want to do a kind of a piece that you want to maybe give away or something you want to hang on your wall. Again, I'll leave some links in the description for the paper that I use for that, but I think for practicing this is what I'd recommend. Some people prefer to practice their lettering on line paper or use guides. I personally don't like to do that because I think that the kind of style that I like to do is quite free and quite bouncy, and I think having guides on your lettering paper just kind of doesn't let you do that quite so well. So that's my recommendations, and next up we're just going to get stuck in with some basic strokes. Okay, so once you've got your supplies ready, the next thing you need to do is just to get the hang of some basic strokes. So the most basic thing that you need to know when you start brush lettering is how to differentiate between upstrokes and downstrokes. So this is a pretty simple rule, but it does take a little bit of a time to get used to it. So before you do anything else, before you try actually writing letters or words or anything like that, the best thing to do is just get yourself a piece of paper, get your brush pen, and practice doing upstrokes and downstrokes. So the main thing to know is that upstrokes, you don't put any pressure on the pen, downstrokes you do. So this is an upstroke and this is a downstroke. So this may seem super boring and monotonous, but honestly the best way to get the hang of this is just to get yourself a piece of paper and just do this over and over again, up and down, until you get the hang of it. So once you think you've got the hang of upstrokes and downstrokes, the second thing that you need to practice is overturns and underturns. So this is just practicing connecting the upstrokes and the downstrokes together. So an overturn is transitioning from an upstroke into a downstroke. So you go up, over and down. And an underturn is the exact opposite, so transitioning from a downstroke into an upstroke. So you go down, under, and up. Again, just carry on practicing this. It might take a bit of time for you to get used to this transition here, but just keep going until you, like how your overturns and underturns look. So once you've got the hang of overturns and underturns, the next thing is just to combine these together. So these are called compound curves, where you go from an overturn to an underturn, or perhaps the other way round. So an underturn to an overturn. So this again is another step up. It's just kind of getting used to doing that transition again. So up, over, down, under, up, or down, under, up, over, down. So once again, just carry on practicing this. So maybe do a couple of different ones, and then once you've got the hang of that, you can even just do a kind of combined one. This is quite difficult though, because you sort of have to move your hand as you go along the paper. But just to get the hang of kind of doing a little squiggle, and this will really help you when you start writing letters, to sort of do the different strokes that you need to do to achieve the different letters. So the fourth type of stroke that I'm going to show you here are ovals. These are one of the trickiest shapes to make. So this is useful for when you're doing A's and C's, O's, all those kind of letters with a bit of a sort of circle in them. So all you need to do, start off at the top, then gradually press down, and then lift your pen up as you're coming up. This is quite difficult because there's sort of an in-between stage between the downstroke and the upstroke. So you go down, under, up. So it's not just as in the compound curves or the upstrokes and downstrokes and the underturns and overturns. There's not kind of a very clear, it's more of a gradual transition between a downstroke and an upstroke. So it can take quite a while to practice, but just keep going and you'll get the hang of it. Okay, so finally,